everyone, it's me Ghost Girl again, and I'm in the woods again, and I had to duck for shelter under a tree because of the rain. So that if you hear like the noise of like running water in the background, it is like very heavily raining out here. In Scotland the weather changes drastically, so it can turn to like 4 seasons in one day very quickly. So everyone, like, you never know what to wear. It's a nightmare trying to select items to wear because of the weather situation. So people like never know what to wear. So like you can go out and it'll be sunny and it'll say that it's sunny like on the weather forecast, but then you'll like go out and it'll be like pissing rain, and it's getting like really heavy now. And like even though I'm under shelter, it's still managing to get through somehow. But anyway, I'm gonna film this video like as quick as I can and then get to like shelter inside because it's really bad. And I couldn't even film a video inside because my mum was just making too much noise and she was just really getting up to me, bothering me, and it's like I couldn't even like get a chance to like film outside, like even if I wanted to. So I'm like, I've got no choice. I'm kind of being forced to like film in this situation. See the below.I I need to go to bring you guys content. I hope you like appreciate this, by the way. So you guys were like asking me about my hobbies, so I'm gonna tell you like a bit about my hobbies that I like to do. I just hope that this phone doesn't get like all like damaged like in the rain or whatever, because there is like a lot of water, like oh god, a lot of water dripping onto this. Well, my contract's coming to an end anyway. I'll be glad to get rid of this phone. It's been nothing but below.I favourite since got it. But anyway, so everyone, I've kind of made it like obvious now, and a lot of my OG viewers will know this very well. But I do practice the craft. I am a witch. I do practice witchcraft. I've dangled in candle magic and crystal magic. I don't really talk about this on my channel, but I like to go bird watching. So I like looking and watching the birds. I'll often come to this woods to like watch the birds. There's like a lot of bird life here, and the crows and the ravens like to come to this wood to nest and lay eggs and mate and have babies. So sometimes I'll come here like in the spring to see the baby crows, and there's just a lot of bird life in this woodland. So this is where I go to film and watch the birds. I've also got a bird feeder outside my house which attracts a lot of bird life, and a lot of birds come and eat in the bird, like from the bird feed, and I'll often sit and watch like the birds feeding from the bird feeder like in my spare time. I also like gardening and anything to do with herbs. I've started a wee herb garden like in my garden, although I had to like start bringing the herbs inside because like all the rain we've had this month with like killing all the plants and all the herbs. We've had an unusual amount of rain this year, and I know this sounds a bit crazy like because Scotland's raining all the time, but for the time of year that we've had a very unusual amount of rain for this time of year, and I think it's probably to make up for the lack of rain we had last year, because last year we had a heat wave, and we had it for months and months and months without rain, which is very unusual in Scotland. We don't normally have that. We usually have like a week or two of like good weather, and then it like rains for like 2 weeks. But I think this is probably to make up for all the lack of rain that we had last year. Great. I also like shopping. I like going shopping. You'll probably see from one of my haul videos that I did last year. I did a video where I went shopping for Halloween decorations. This was at Party Spookfest, and I did like a Halloween haul. So I do, when like COVID and the pandemic like is not as bad, like when things start to kind of get, well, better or less as bad, I do plan at some point to do like shopping videos of me going shopping and like clothing hauls and stuff like that. So if you're like into that kind of stuff, then you will enjoy these types of videos. I do like shopping and dressing up, doing my makeup for nights out. I do love like a wee night out and a wee dance and a wee boogie and a wee drink. I also like fashion and styles, like well, compared to everyone else in Scotland, or at least my town in Scotland, I'm like really stylish and I'm very fashion forward, and I like fashion and stuff like that, and I like giving people like makeovers and doing people's hair and makeup and styling people's clothes and fashions and stuff. Like before the pandemic, I was actually looking at being like there's a shop called Debenhams where I live, and in Debenhams you've got like a personal shopper that shops and that styles people's clothes in Debenhams, but that shop's shut down now. But I was looking at being like a personal like shopper in Debenhams for a while, just something to do for the weekend while I was at college, because I do really love fashion and clothes and makeup and hair and stuff like that. You probably don't expect it from someone like me, but it's true, I do. I also like going to the movies in the cinema. I like watching movies. Like, you've probably heard me talk about this before. Subscribers, like the first couple of subscribers, or just anyone that new to my channel that's watched my introduction video, because it's up, because it's like at the top of like my channel, to like, it's kind of like an introduction to like introduce myself. And so all of you that have subscribers, you've probably all watched my introduction video, and you've probably heard me talking about like the movies and the films and stuff that I like in my introduction video. But like before the pandemic, I used to go to the cinema all the time. I used to go to the cinema at least once every 2 weeks, if not more, because I love movies and I love going to the cinema, and plus it's like there's like not really much else to do like where I live, so I may as well just enjoy sitting, chilling and watching a movie, especially because in Scotland the weather's so bad. Everything has to be indoors. We don't really spend much time like outside because the weather is so bad. Like today, where I live, there's like a local bowling alley. Now some people when they think of bowling, they think of like the bowling green where you bowl in a field. We do have that here. I have seen like guys doing that like before, but it's not that type of bowling, it's the 10-bin bowling. I've got a mate, and me and him go bowling like a lot, or at least we used to before the pandemic, and he always won. He seems to be good at like things like that. Like he's good at bowling, he's good at darts, and he's good at pool. He always wins, and he always wins like all the arcade stuff and that. I remember one time we went to the arcade, and he actually won like a teddy from me in the arcade, and I've never heard of anyone winning anything out of these machines like in my life, but he somehow managed to like win us one, which is just mad. I also like ice skating and roller skating. I don't really talk about this much, but I actually used to go to ice skating lessons, and I used to do figure skating, and I can do like lots of tricks on the ice skating. So I can do a glide, and I can glide on one foot. I can glide backwards on one foot. I can jump and spin. I can jump and spin on one foot. I can go backwards. I can stop and start, and I can do like lemons, which is like you move your feet in like a kind of lemony shape like that. It's called bubbles or lemons. It's like one of the tricks they teach you in ice skating. I don't know why it's not that impressive to watch or do. So yeah, I really like ice skating, and I've always wanted to go with like a group of mates, but none of my pals have ever been up to it. And I've always wanted to go on a date ice skating, but like there's never really been anyone that's like wanted to go or even like attempted to go ice skating with me. But it's something that I've always wanted to do with my friends, but it's like no one's ever really been interested in like doing it, so it's kind of just sort of a hobby that I've had to like do like myself. And I think I kind of fell out of it like in recent years, just because it was a hobby that I had, but I had nobody to like do it with. So I think that's why I kind of like fell out of it. And I think when things open back up again, I'd like to go back, and I'd like to take my friends, but it's not really a popular thing here. Neither is roller skating. Like where I live, there's no like roller rinks or anything, but I've always wanted to go like ice skating or roller skating like with my friends, but it's not really a popular thing here. I also like being amongst the trees. When I was a kid, I used to climb trees a lot. And one time I went there with my friends and into the woods, and we were climbing trees, and my friend was actually shitting themselves. They were like shouting at me to get down, get down, get down. And I wouldn't come down, I just kept climbing higher. And like I used to have like friends that were like male, like we didn't go out or on dates or that, we were just like male friends, and we used to have competitions and stuff, and one of them was like tree climbing, and I'd always win like the tree climbing. I've done a bit of rock climbing before. Where I live there's a castle, and there's some like rocky bits for like people that are not like expert rock climbers, but like just do it for fun. At the hill by the castle, and there's a back walk behind the back of the castle, and that's got kind of rocky verges, but it's not for the faint-hearted, because I've climbed the rock faces round there before, and it's once you get to the top, it's like there's like nothing to grab onto, and I don't have like any tools or that, because well I can't really afford to buy like big expensive like rock climbing tools. And it was like I got stuck at the top, and I had to like dig a hole into the mud for me to put my hands and feet in order to get to the top. And then once I got to the top, I was able to get the path back down, but it's quite a hard climb, and it's really not for the faint-hearted at all. So if you live in the Stirling area and you want to go rock climbing by Stirling Castle, I wouldn't recommend that if you're quite easily scared. It's like no for the faint-hearted, like, at all. It is good, but it's just not for the faint-hearted. So before the pandemic, I like my food. Like, I'm just gonna say this, I like my food, and I used to go out eating a lot. And before the pandemic, me and my friends used to eat out a lot. Obviously we don't do it now because of the situation in the world, but one thing that we used to do is eat out a lot, and I've probably said this in a few videos, but I quite like my food. I love my food, and you can probably tell from the size of me that I like my food. I also like going to museums. I've got a friend, and me and him usually, yeah, we're just friends, by the way. There's like nothing going on there, we're just friends. But I've got like a lot of friends that are male, by the way, just to let you know. Like, you'll probably at some point see them in my videos, but they're just like, unless I introduce them like as like my boyfriend, they're usually just friends. But I have a lot of male friends, like, just to let you know. But yeah, I have a friend, and me and him are always going to like museums and stuff because he's really interested in politics and history, and so am I. So we usually go to museums and stuff. And I've got another friend who's a girl who's interested in going to museums and stuff. I've probably mentioned my ex-best friend multiple times in videos now. I've done enough videos for you guys to know who she is, but I tried to educate my ex-best friend once and take her to like a museum, and it just wasn't like working out. So I went to like one museum with her, and that was it. It was just a disaster. Like, never again did I take her to a museum. Also like reading books. I don't read books so much now just because uni and stuff, and I've just not been in the right frame of mind to like sit and read books. In fact, the libraries are opening soon because of lockdown restrictions, so I'm planning on getting a library card and borrowing some books from the library because there's like some information that I want to figure out, and it's not online because, trust me, I've looked. I actually think I need to go, and it's like there's certain types of information that you can only find out from like special articles or books, and you need to actually read a book to find it. So I think I'm going to have to actually read a book about it to actually find like this information, because that like specifies in this specific area, because there's like not really much information online. So I'm probably going to have to borrow a book from my library. Plus I've not got the budget to spend like how many odd much pounds it is in a book, because books are like really expensive, and it's like really expensive to buy books, and that's I think one of the reasons what puts people off reading books is and buying books is because of the prices of books. And maybe some people don't have access to like a local library or anything like nearby where they can go and like rent it out or borrow a book. So it's like a lot of people are put off by reading. So one of the things that I recommend, if you want to like start reading and you've got a library, just go and get a library card and borrow a book, because these libraries usually cost nothing to like sign up and just borrow books. Although please remember to bring your book back on time, because libraries tend to charge late fees. I remember my mum borrowed me a book off her library card once, and she forgot to give it back, and I think for like a really long time, and the library wouldn't actually tell her that she had this book out, and she had to go home and get me this book, and she had to pay like a really expensive like late fee because the book had been out so long. I can't remember how much it was, but I just know that it was quite a big hefty bill that she had to pay. So just remember, bring the book back on time, otherwise you'll need to pay late fees. I remember I was at school, the school library, they had books out all the time and people never used to bring them back, and they used to have to chase people up for like books and stuff. I remember that happening at school at the end of every summer. You used to have the library wife come in and like harassing you to bring back books and stuff like that. So yeah, unless you want like a person coming to your door and harassing you for the book back, always remember to bring your book back on time. I also like going to mini golf. I don't know if any one of you guys goes to like adventure mini golf courses. I know like my cousins used to take me there, and I've been to a friend on a mini golf course once. But some of these mini golf courses are amazing. They like you get like big massive giant ones that take up like whole big giant like fields and that, like abroad you do anyway. I've been to a big giant one in Glasgow, and then I've been to like the smaller one in Glasgow, but they were both good fun. Although it is, in fact it's not too bad price wise. I think it depends on which one you go to, but I remember the big one in Glasgow was quite pricey to get in. But yeah, I really like going to mini golf because it's just good fun and it's a laugh, and you can go with your friends or family or even on a date. Although I don't know if would I go on mini golf for a date? Maybe, I don't know, not sure. But I also like history. I've probably mentioned this earlier when I was talking about the museums and stuff, and you've probably noticed from some of my previous videos, like some of my like OG subscribers that have been there from like when I first started making videos will like see like some of the videos that I've made. I did do like a historic series, so if you guys are like into history, then I recommend that you watch this historic series. I have done like a lot of history videos, and then I've done some like if you're into like Scotland and you like Scotland and you like learning about Scotland and stuff like that. I also did a couple of Scotland videos. My first ever video that I filmed was my introduction video, but my second and my third ever videos were the Scotland videos, and then I did like my history series like after that. So it was like kind of like my original videos were like on like history of the world kind of thing. So like if you enjoy like historic stuff, then I recommend that you watch some of my historic videos. Because they're quite old now, you'll need to like scroll down to like one of my original playlists, because they are kind of like the original videos that I did at like the very start when I first started doing YouTube. Also like old buildings, like see when you're looking at old buildings, like they tend to be like nicer and better looking than newer buildings. What is put into the design, and I feel like that is just because like in like modern day society everything is just like want to be done like quickly and efficiently, as in back then things took longer and people didn't mind buildings taking longer and putting like the extra detail into them, and I think it was just different attitudes back then compared to like now, if you get what I mean. I also like going to abandoned places I never used to like this. It used to creep me out, but as I got older, it was just like, it's just like an empty building. Like, there's not really anything to be scared of. Yeah, you need to be careful for like health and safety reasons, but as long as you're not like being an idiot about it, then you'll be fine. I am planning at some point on doing episodes where I go into like abandoned places and go ghost hunting and stuff like that. I don't know when those type of videos will be. I know they'll be further down along the line, but I'm not sure as to when. I will let you guys know like closer to the time, but it won't be soon anyway. Another question people asked was, what is your spirit animal? I did like a spirit animal quiz recently, so if you don't know what your spirit animal is, then I recommend you take this quiz so that you'll know what your spirit animal is. I actually have more than one spirit animal. I have a raven and a snake, and I think I have it's like a giant crab. I don't know what type of crab that is. We'll need to do some research to like figure out what type of crab, if it is a crab this spirit animal is, but yeah, it's definitely a crab. And I might actually talk about like the experiences that I had and how I discovered these spirit animals if you want a video on that. The story is too long for this type of video because it is like a long story, and this video is getting very long now. But if you want me to talk about how I discovered and was able to connect with my spirit animals, then I will do a video on that. But anyway guys, that is me coming to the end of this video. I'll let you guys go now. If you enjoyed this video, then please like this video, comment down below, subscribe, click on that notification bell so that you'll be notified when my next video comes out. And also don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is linked in the description down below. So I hope you enjoyed this video today guys. That is everything for me today. Goodbye.